Two people walked out of that house, one drenched in blood, the other too calm. Only one knew what really happened inside. What you're about to see actually happened.
No, there's so much blood. No, wait.
Come on.
Is she gonna be okay?
Come on.
Oh, my dad.
What happened? What's going on? What's going on?
I heard screaming. So I came back and she was on the ground.
What the fuck? Oh my gosh, my wife. Sydney. What's going on? Huh? On its way? Yeah, it's coming. From where?
A mother was dead inside, and both said they didn't know how it happened. But here's the problem. There was no intruder, no broken doors, no stolen items, no getaway, just silence, confusion, and one phone call that captured her final screams. Inside that home, officers would find the unthinkable, a body of a woman brutally stabbed 30 times. So what really happened inside that house? Who actually killed Brenda Powell?
22. Go ahead. Services.
She's on the ground. So there's.
Who is it?
My mom. There's someone broke in the back window.
All right, hold on.
And she's on the ground. And there's.
Akron Police! Akron Police!
Someone broke in the back window. And she's on the ground. And there's.
Where's your mom at? Okay, stay right here.
No, there's so much blood. No, wait. Mom!
Man!
Grab her. Take her.
Recording now! No!
Stop!
Clarify.
Come on, we gotta figure out what's going on.
1300.
Can you sit down? Can you sit down?
09, get that 32 roll real quick. We got a female down.
Start some more units. We got a crime scene. Take her outside.
Come on. Come on.
Is she gonna be okay?
Come on.
I
Come on. Come on.
Police brought Sydney Powell outside from the house. She was completely covered in blood, with visible cuts on her hands. She told officers she had tried to help her mother.
You need to cooperate with me, all right?
I want my dad.
Huh?
I want my dad.
What happened? What's going on? What's going on?
We heard a bang. We heard a bang. And she told me to get out. And then I heard screaming. So I came back and she was on the ground.
Okay, you heard a
I ran
bang.
out back. There was a bang. Someone broken.
Okay. What is your name?
Sydney.
Are you cut?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're cut somewhere.
I don't think so.
Yeah, your hand.
No, I was helping her. I grabbed her.
All right, stop. I tell you what, can you sit on the ground here real quick?
Tuna dispatch.
Come on. Come
You
on.
said the ground.
Yeah, you're fine right there.
No.
You're fine right there.
Make a call, please. 76.
I grabbed the knife.
Before the Goodman Street exit ramp. A truck lost some concrete.
I
This is minor. They might have a more. I don't know. Check that victim in there. She's got cuts on her hands. I don't know what they have in there, but there's a female down in there. Yeah.
But inside, they discovered a scene so brutal, so savage, it left even seasoned investigators shaken.
She's a 22. I wouldn't put that out. Let the medics get here. Secure the scene. She looks like a 22. She looks like she's been down for a while. There's blood all over the place. There's a knife by her head and stuff like that, and there's a huge pool of blood. No, I think she just walked in on it. There's a broken window in the back. So if you can just put up some crime scene tape. As soon as AFD gets here, they're going to pronounce her, I'm sure. If you say if you want to check her, I don't think she's breathing.
You want me to secure it from the outside? Or?
Yeah, because the window's in the back here. There's blood all over the back. I came in through the back door. I had to move the couch. I got to clear the basement.
1-9.
Before Steve Powell even arrived at the scene, officers had already entered the house. What they found didn't match the story they were told. A woman left bleeding on the floor, a weapon still in plain sight, just blood, a lot of it, and silence.
What's going on?
This is Sydney's father, Steve Powell, who had no idea what he was walking into. No warning, no explanation, just flashing lights. And his daughter standing in blood.
I don't know. We just got
the dad. I'm the dad.
Okay,
Sydney. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Daddy!
What? What the hell? Where's my wife?
The window's broken, Dad!
Where?
The back window's broken in!
So you're gonna have to.
Daddy!
There's officers inside there, so
She okay?
I don't know! She was there
go
was
check
so much
the lady in the
blood!
house, okay? She's got minor cuts and stuff.
He arrived at the scene expecting nothing more than confusion, maybe an accident. But what he saw next would haunt him forever. As he stepped onto the front lawn, he had no clue his wife was already gone. One moment, he was just a father picking up his daughter. The next, he was standing outside a murder scene. And that his daughter might be the reason why.
It's pretty bad up there.
What the fuck?
11. Yeah, I'm not route gutter.
She's got cuts on her hands.
Okay.
So.
It's on her hand.
Take care of her.
Dave, I think this is, are you dad?
Yeah, I'm the dad.
Can you stay here with them?
I'll call for another med unit for her.
Somebody has my wife.
12.
12.
Can you start another med unit on here? Have a female constantly breathing, cuts to her hands.
Copy.
You said your name's Sydney? Ma'am, is your name Sydney? What's your last name?
Jeep's probably
No, he's in Talmadge. Yes, I talked to him.
What is it? Powell. What's your date of birth? Huh?
Yeah.
What's your date of birth?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have another one
no.
coming.
No, but somebody's got to take.
I have another med unit coming.
All right, you got some gloves? I got some.
Right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the other one I mean, she's just got cuts to her hands here.
Oh, it's just a cut.
Yeah, so I don't know. I already got blood on me, so.
Officer Null, 23, Officer Null. Go ahead, Officer Null. Here you go, Officer.
Here they come.
Can we move this
25.
25?
Somebody's got to tell me what's going on. Somebody's got to tell me what's going on.
What'd you say?
Oh, we don't, sir, we don't. Does she have any mental
No,
issues?
no.
No?
No, she was having a little trouble at school at Mount Union, and she came back home to try and work things out. Just today is when I found it. She's been, I think she has been going to class for the last couple of weeks.
So she just came home today?
Yeah, today. It's like 11 o'clock.
Sydney. Sydney. Sydney.
Oh, fuck. What is going on with
Sydney. What's going on? Huh?
I need to know what's going on.
We don't know yet.
Sydney, still covered in blood and with deep cuts on her hands, was also taken to the hospital. She wasn't speaking, couldn't explain what happened. Mentally, she was gone. Paramedics worked desperately to save Brenda Powell's life, but the injuries were too severe. 30 stab wounds, severe head trauma. The hospital confirmed what detectives feared. Brenda was gone, and Steve Powell, still in shock, was taken in for further interrogation.
I said, "Oh, Mom's on the phone with Mount Union." I said, "Well, cops are on the way," and she went, "There's been a break-in," and she just started going off. She said, "What?" She said, "There's been somebody broke into the house. There's blood everywhere." And I'm like, "Stop!" And then that's when I called. I'm sure there was conversations after that, but I'm not going to remember the detail. She was hysterical and crying. I called Jeep back and said, "Yeah, I don't know what I told you. I don't know if I said it was legit or yeah, it's the cops on the way. There's been a break-in incident," and I left. Drove home and saw about.
So at first, when you talked to her, she said that your wife was on the phone with Mount Union.
Yes,
And
as soon as I said cops are on the way, the hysterics started.
Is she still attending Mount Union?
Well, as far as we knew up until today, yes, but apparently not for the last, I don't know, maybe couple weeks. Because I tried to get on, I don't know, this was a couple weeks ago, I tried to get on the website to I like to check the balance, and she's been coming home on and off on the weekends a little, just odd, little frequently. Not never seemed odd for sorts, you know, I mean, it's acted perfectly normal. But she came back and I'm like questioning, well, why aren't you at school? Why are you coming home? And, you know, it's all the same, just, you know, the vague non-answers. And so she turned off her like Life 360 app. But I think on that app you can't see where she's going. You can kind of see highlights of where the phone was. Well, you know, I'm kind of looking, I'm like going, well, you're not where you're supposed to be. This is kind of weird. So I called her on it and I said, you know, Mount, because I went on, so then I tried to go on the Mount Union website and I say, I figured I was going to see if there's anything on that. Parents only have so much, you know.
Right.
I'm willing to pay the bill and everything, but if you want to find anything about it, you're out of luck.
Right.
So, but I figured I'm going to try. So I sign on, it says your password or your login or password ID doesn't work. I'm like, well, that's weird. So I recover my password and I put in the right answer and it didn't work. And I did that a few times and I texted her back and said, something's not working. What's wrong? She comes up with something that says the website's down, basically. And you know, but I'm working on it. So a few days pass later. Nothing seems out of the ordinary until maybe it was today, I tried to get back on. Well, Mount Union calls me today because I sent them an email that says, my user ID is this, my ID is this, my password's not working, my recovery answer won't work, and I know where I was born, I know my car, and it doesn't, when you type in your recovery email, the system just, it didn't recognize it. So I sent Mount Union Billing an email and says, basically, what's wrong? So she calls me back today and says, well, the reason you can't get on, long story short, is your daughter's unenrolled. So I went, what's going on? So I text Sydney, I'm like, oh, give me a call. I have a question to ask you. I call her, no answer. I say, give me a call, question to ask. I have a question to ask you. And I look on that little Life 360 app, and her car was at home. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. So I leave my phone at home so she can't track me. And I go home, and there she is. She's at home. Perfectly normal. I mean, she's crying because I said, what's going on? Are you not going to school? She goes, I'm overwhelmed in school, and I don't really like what I'm doing, and it seems like it's a waste of my time and your money. I said, well, but that's all part of it. Nobody's going to tell you you need to do what you're doing when you're 20. You need to figure it out. But you have to work through the problem. You can't just ignore the problem and have it go away. It's not.
I'm sorry. When did you have that conversation?
Today, like 11:30. I don't remember. Yeah, it was before I left work. I left work because it was before lunch. It was maybe around 11, because I was probably there from 11 to 11:30. So from her phone call. So that, I mean, that's what I said. You know, my recommendation is call the school back, call the student union, get reinstated, and then if you have to take the summer off, take the summer off. Figure out what you want. She was supposed to take summer class because she changed a couple majors, and that's what she goes, all my friends have their shit together and I don't. I said, well, I'm 54 and I don't have my shit together. That, you know, don't look at it that way. You need to work the problem. You can't just have the problem sit there, and ignoring it is not going to do you any good. So I went back, I called my wife from my daughter's phone. She picks up, she was working down at Children's. And she goes, what's wrong? And I basically told her, I said, you know, I mean, Sydney, I think the reason we can't get on is because she's unenrolled. She hasn't been going to school. She goes, well, and then we talked to Jill, her boss, and says, I'll see if I can come home. So I left. On the way home, I either on my way back to work or when I'm at work, I call Brenda, and she's like, well, I'm just pulling in now. So I let it go, and then I get a text from Brenda that says, she says something to the effect of, she was on the phone waiting for someone from Student Affairs to call me back. And that was at 12:36. She said, how much was the check that they're returning? Because Mount Union told me too before with the phone conversation, look, we're returning your check. I'm like, well, you know, nobody would return a check. So I said, I texted her back at 12:36, and I said I had no idea. It was electronic. I said, check on the scholarship too, make sure she didn't lose that at 12:37. At 12:39, I got on the bank account and I said, maybe. I go, $5,435. And then at 12:41, what did you discuss with her? And that was it.
So 12:41 was the last.
12:41 was the last, and I don't know how to tell what time I got his call.
Detectives didn't waste time. They asked Steve about Sydney, how she'd been acting lately. Was she distant? Was she behaving strangely? And then came the blunt question, has she been using anything? Marijuana? Pills? Anything at all?
Now, how long has she been acting funny?
Just been a couple weeks. I mean, yeah, maybe, I mean, I don't remember when she came home that first time, kind of out of the blue, but that was...
She said she was stressed out.
She told me that today. That she was overwhelmed.
Is she on any medication?
Nope. No.
Has she ever tried marijuana?
I don't know. I didn't think she drank until the first time she drank, and then I think she realized.
How long was that?
It was last year. It was her freshman year. And I'm sure she does. I'm not going to be,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say she doesn't, but I don't think it was ever a problem, but not an expert in that field.
Has she ever had any psychological problems in the
No.
family?
Then came the moment Steve never saw coming. There's no right way to say it, but the room turned cold when detectives broke the news. Brenda Powell was dead, and Steve, still piecing together what happened, could only sit in disbelief.
Well, I have really bad news. Your wife passed away.
What happened?
We're not sure. It looks like, I don't think someone broke into the house. I don't know if your wife and daughter got into an argument or got physical. I mean, the window was broken, but there's no forced entry into the house. The window's broken, but nobody actually came through that window. And the sliding door was unlocked. So, did your wife and daughter ever have like really heated arguments?
No. This is not possible. I'm gonna go. Where can I go?
As detectives continued questioning Steve, one of them paused and told him something he didn't expect.
Your son's outside, but he doesn't know anything that's going on.
My son's here?
Yes. We got him from school because
What happened next broke the room.
I'll watch your stuff. Close the door.
I got you. Thanks. Sit down. Mom, Dad. No, man. I don't know. Mommy, I don't know what happened yet. Sydney's hurt. I don't know what happened there. It was just you and me. Sydney, thank you. I know Sydney's not dead. Oh my God, thank you. But I don't know what's going on yet. But they just told me Mom died. Mom. It just
In the end, the truth was unavoidable. It wasn't a stranger. It wasn't a random act. It was one of their own. It was Sydney Powell who killed her own mother because of her academic downfall. She had been lying for months, pretending to still be enrolled, hiding her expulsion, forging emails. But when Brenda found out, the lie collapsed, and Sydney snapped. She grabbed a cast iron skillet, struck her mother in the head, and then stabbed her 30 times, brutally. The entire assault was heard during a phone call with the university. Every sickening thud, every silent second.
What happened next?
There was a very large or a very loud sort of thud sound, like a pounding or a thud, accompanied by a pretty loud scream. And the scream might have actually been first, and then the thud.
Okay.
As I think about it, and then there was sort of an expulsion. The other sound that I heard at that same time, or right after, was sort of an expulsion of air, like the air was knocked out of somebody.
Okay.
I'd always heard that expression of the air being knocked, having the wind knocked out of you, but I didn't. That's actually what it sounded like. And then several more repeated thuds.
It made one thing horrifyingly clear. There was no intruder. Sydney did this and tried to make it look like someone else had. Later, doctors revealed something deeper. Sydney was suffering from undiagnosed schizophrenia at the time of the attack, but the court didn't accept that as a defense. She was charged with felonious assault, tampering with evidence, and the murder of Brenda Powell. Sydney Powell was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison, and Brenda, a woman who dedicated her life to helping children, was buried by the one she loved most.